course, lifting achievement and transforming our schools is going to require more than new standards. It's going to require better teaching, better curricula. It's going to require better assessments. So we are calling for a redesigned Elementary and Secondary Education Act that better aligns the federal approach to your state-led efforts while offering you the support that you need. Let me just be specific on some things that we're looking to do this year. First, as a condition of receiving access to Title I funds, we will ask all states to put in place a plan to adopt and certify standards that are college and career ready in reading and math. Once you've got those standards in place, you'll be able to better compete for funds to improve teaching and upgrade curriculum. If a university, state, or school district begins preparing educators to teach to higher standards, we'll give them the support that they need. And to make sure that we're delivering for our kids, we're launching a competition to reward states that join together to develop the highest quality, cutting-edge assessments required to measure progress, and we'll help support their implementation. This all goes hand in hand with our efforts to give every American a complete and competitive education. We are making college more affordable by increasing Pell Grants. We're continuing a new $2,500 tax credit for 4 years of college tuition. We are working to ease graduates' debt burdens because I believe, and I think you do too, that nobody should go broke because they decided to go to college. We've provided the resources to effectively implement the post-9/11 GI Bill because every returning soldier should have the chance to begin a new life prepared for the new economy. We're strengthening our community colleges because all of you know that they are outstanding career pathways for the children of so many working families. And we're working to reform the student loan program and save tens of billions of dollars that currently go to subsidizing financial intermediaries because instead of having that money go to middlemen, we think it makes sense to spend that money educating the next generation. Now, if we can come together and do all this in Washington, in state houses, and across party and ideology, we're going to raise the quality of American education. We'll give our students, our workers, and our businesses every chance to succeed, and we are going to secure this next century as another American century. Let me just close by saying this. We've been trusted with the responsibility to lead at a defining moment in our history. We've been tasked not only to see this country through difficult times, but to keep the dream of our founding alive for the next generation. That's not something to shy away from. It's something to live up to. And I intend to work closely with all of you, Democrats and Republicans, to do just that. So with that, what I'd like to do is start the discussion. I think that what we're going to do is I'm going to call on Jim and Joe first, and then after they've made their opening statements and remarks, then we'll kick the press out and everybody will roll up their sleeves and we'll get to work. Jim?
Mr. President, thank you so much for, first of all, your hospitality last evening. The governors, their spouses, and guests had a wonderful time, and we appreciate that very much indeed. And thank you for reaching out to the governors as you've done so many times. Initially, when we met in Philadelphia, a meeting organized by Governor Rendell before you took office to discuss the pending Recovery Act and other issues of importance, and the meetings we continue to have here at the White House. The governors are working hard in their respective states to bring the states of America out of this difficult economic time. We appreciate the help from the Recovery Act, and I want to note in particular the Vice President's leadership. He's been not only accessible but persistent. And we appreciate that, and perhaps some additional support that might come our way as well. But governors are still going to have to make some tough choices, establishing priorities, reducing spending, balancing budgets. It's a tough time, but working with you and the federal government, we hope we can get our states on the path to recovery. We've talked a lot during the last day or so about health care reform, and we look forward to learning more about your proposals. Yesterday we had a great facilitated discussion with Maria Bartiromo, and we had a lot of presentations by governors about things that are happening in our states. And it's such a good discussion, we're going to send a copy of it to the congressional leaders. Because while there's gridlock in Washington, if you went around that room, you couldn't tell who was a Republican or who was a Democrat. There are governors who are implementing all kinds of exciting reforms that are making a difference, that are bending the cost curve, improving the outcome and the quality of care, and we want those ideas to be models for reform at the national level. So we hope as this debate goes forward, we'll have a chance to work with you and your administration, with the congressional leaders, to put in place ideas that work, that states can implement, so we can all work together to bend that cost curve, improve the quality of care, and do everything possible to improve the health and well-being of the American people. So thank you again for your leadership, your hospitality, and for the opportunity to discuss important issues with the governors today.
Thank you, Jim.
I first want to report, Mr. President, that Gail's doing well. I know that Vice President Biden accused me of tripping her, but I did not. My wife fell last night while we had a wonderful time. Let me reiterate on behalf of my colleagues the hospitality that you and the staff have shown us, and also the openness and the dialogue that we've had. As the end of the session that we had yesterday morning, I said that I've never been more proud to be part of an organization that worked across party lines the way we do. And I believe if we're going to move this country forward, it's going to be with the governors in that leadership position, working with you as a partner. And I really believe that we are still on the front of health care reform. We know that we can't sustain what we have. Double-digit inflation is going to eat all of our budgets, as you know, and it's something that we can't catch. So we need that help, and we're still at the table. We're not giving up on it. And we think we can come to an agreement on this some way that's going to be workable for all of us. When we talk about flexibility, we talk about that every state's not the same. West Virginia is different from California. But we both desire to make sure that all of our citizens are taken care of. And that's the flexibility we're looking for. At the end of the day, we've got to balance a budget every year. Every year we have to balance. And we understand that's not always the case here in Washington, to where Congress might not look at it as finite as we do. So what we're asking for is that consideration, that tolerance with us, but really to bring us into the fold, that if you're looking for that bipartisan movement this country is desiring, this country is hungry for, I believe you'll find it in this room. This is a great group of people that I'm proud of. I'm proud to be part of this organization, of the National Governors Association. We're proud of our relationship and association with this administration, and we look forward to continuing the good work that all of us want done for this country. We're going to keep this country strong, one state at a time. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now, we've got our top cabinet members and administration officials in the room, so there may be some questions. If you want to know